Mhm. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Lee. I'm going to continue with our Leviticus reading. I've got Leviticus, the Dead Sea Scrolls pulled up. I got links to all the websites below. Dead Sea Scrolls manuscript translations, the Samaritan Pentateuch, the Brenton Septuagint, Thompson Septuagint, the King James Version, and Pseudo-Jonathan Aramaic Targums. So, and I have all those in paper format too. I can show you. So if you want to get them in paperback, here's one. The translations of the Dead Sea Scrolls. You can get that. Here is the Brenton Septuagint, the translation of the Greek Old Testament. You can get that. The Thompson Septuagint. This is a 1960. Kind of hard to find. Thompson Septuagint. The Samaritan Pentateuch. Yeah. And the Aramaic Targums, Pseudo-Jonathan. So I like having them in paper form. And also the King James. Yep. So, yeah. All right, and another thing I want to go over right quick in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's got YHWH, and you wonder, what's that? Well, you look in the modern translations, it's got Lord. Well, if you go here in Blue Letter Bible, you go down here and see where it says Lord. Here's in the Hebrew Old Testament. Lord, Jehovah, 6,500 times translated in the Bible. Well, these vowel points didn't exist before like 900,000 AD. The Masoretes put them there. And what you're pronouncing, unpronounced except with the vowel pointings. So these vowel pointings are Lord. It's not the actual name. They took it out of the scriptures over 6,000 times. So in the Dead Sea Scrolls, you have the original reading, which would be YHWH, which would be his name. And I go by Yahuwah. Some people say Yahweh. But originally it wasn't Lord and God all over the place. It was his name. Just in case anybody's wondering. So Leviticus 21, scroll 4Q26. Yahuwah said to Moses, "Speak to the priests, the sons of Aaron, and say to them, a priest shall not defile himself for the dead among his people, except for his relatives that are near to him, for his mother, for his father, for his son, for his daughter, for his brother, and for his virgin sister who is near to him, who has had no husband, for her he may defile himself. He shall not defile himself, being a chief among his people, to profane himself." And it skips over. So we got 4. And there's 6 in that one. Okay, so we'll drop down here. Go to the Samaritan Pentateuch. 5, and they shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. 6, scroll 11Q1, they shall be holy to their Elohim, and not profane the name of their Elohim, for they offer the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, the bread of their Elohim, therefore they shall be holy. They shall not marry a woman who is a prostitute or profane. They shall not marry a woman divorced from her husband, for he is holy to his God. You shall sanctify him therefore, for he offers the bread of your Elohim. He shall be holy to you, for Yahuwah, who sanctify them, am holy. I, Yahuwah, who sanctify them, am holy. And you wonder, how does that apply to us? Most teach the Old Testament's done away with. Well, if you read your Bible, you'll find out that's not the case. Go to Peter. 1 Peter 1:15, but as he which called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. If you go to 1 Peter 1:15, you go down here to conversation, in the Greek, anastrophe. Here's the Greek word. New Testament came from the only, what we have in our modern Bibles comes from the Greek. So, and this Greek word means manner of life, conduct, and behavior. Behavior, not conversation. Behavior. And because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. What's he say in Leviticus? I, Yahuwah, who sanctify them, am holy. He shall be holy to you. The daughter of any priest, if she profanes herself by playing the prostitute, she profanes her father. She shall be burned with fire. And we don't burn with fire. The sacrificial law is over. Stoning, burning with fire, bulls and goats, that's all done with. But the daughter of any priest, if you look at Peter tells us, 1 Peter 2:9, but you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. So he says we are a priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. So if we understand we're supposed to keep his commandments, he's called us into his light. And we're that priesthood, that holy nation. Isaiah 8:16, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And also, Proverbs 6:23, for the commandment is a lamp and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life. So it tells you the law is light. They are the way. His law, his instructions, the way. His commandment is the lamp. So when you go back and you read your New Testament, he's talking about lamp, he's talking about light, he's talking about the way. It's his law, his instructions. The church, most of the church says that You're a heretic or a Judaizer. Well, Acts 24:14, but this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets. After we just found out what the way was, right? The way, they call it heresy. Same thing happening today, same thing they did to Paul. Same thing they did to the prophets. Repeat. Verse 10, he who is the high priest among his brothers, upon whose head the anointing oil is poured, and that is consecrated to put on the garments, shall not let the hair of his head hang loose, or tear his clothes. He must not go into any dead body, or defile himself for his father or for his mother. 10. Now this manuscript here, scroll 4Q 26A, got it translated, she profanes the house of her father. So this is not in most translations, but this is in the Dead Sea Scrolls, the house of, in red there. So 9. It says in this manuscript she profanes her father, but here it says the house of her father. So I did 10, 11. He must not go into any dead body or defile himself for his father or for his mother. He shall not go out of the sanctuary nor profane the sanctuary of his Elohim. And Elohim is the Hebrew word. See, in the Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. In case anybody doesn't know. See, God, the Hebrew word is Elohim, H430. Plural. Divine ones, gods. A lot of people look at this and say, well, he's talking to the angels. No. And Elohim said, plural, Father and Son, let us make man in our image after our likeness. The Father and the Son. He created all things through the Son. Well, he's there too. He shall not go out of the sanctuary, nor profane the sanctuary of his Elohim, for the crown of the anointing oil of his Elohim is upon him. I am Yahuwah. So that's 12 to 21. We got 17 there. Most of the scrolls are in fragments. So 12 to 17. 13, and he shall take a wife in her virginity, a widow or a divorced woman or profane or a harlot, these shall he not take. But he shall take a virgin of his own people to wife, neither shall he profane his seed among his people, for I, Yahuwah, do sanctify him. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, 17, say to Aaron, this is scroll 4Q24, none of your offspring throughout their generations who has a defect may approach to offer the bread of his Elohim. For whatever man he is that has a defect, he shall not draw near, a blind man, or a lame, or he who has a flat nose, or any deformity. 17, 18, 19. Or a man that is broken-footed, or broken-handed, or crook-backed, or a dwarf, or that hath a blemish in his eyes, or be scurvy, or scabbed, or hath his stones broken. So in the Dead Sea Scrolls it says, or hunchbacked, or a dwarf, or one who has a defect in his eye, or an itching disease, or scabs, or who has damaged testicles. So Pentateuch says stones broken. 20. Humpback. This is Brenton Septuagint. Humpbacked or black-eyed, blear-eyed, or that has lost his eyelashes, or a man who has a malignant ulcer, or tetter, or one has lost a testicle. 20. Humpback, dim-sighted, blear-eyed, nor any man who has scurvy or itch or a rupture, so damaged. 21. No man of the offspring of Aaron the priest who has a defect shall come near to offer the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire. Since he has a defect, he shall not come near to offer the bread of his Elohim. He shall eat the bread of his Elohim, both of the most holy and of the holy. He shall not come near to the veil, nor come near to the altar, because he has a defect, that he may not profane my sanctuaries, for I am Yahuwah who sanctifies them. So Moses spoke to Aaron and to his sons and to all Israel. So this right here marked through would be in the modern translations and missing from the Dead Sea Scrolls. So the children of got added in there somewhere. Or it was in one manuscript and not in another. Yep. So this manuscript had to all Israel. This manuscript had to all the children of Israel. Same difference. And this other manuscript here, Paleo-Leviticus Numbers, had to all the children of Israel. Paleo would be the older Hebrew. So 24. Yep. 22. Chapter 22. Missing. Got a good bit of that in here. Plenty of witnesses. So we'll just go to Leviticus 22, verse 1. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, scroll 1Q3, Paleo-Leviticus Numbers, tell Aaron and his sons to separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, which they make holy to me, and that they not profane my holy name. I am Yahuwah. What's the third commandment? Don't take his name in vain. Tell them, if anyone of all your offspring throughout your generations approaches the holy things which the children of Israel make holy to Yahuwah, having his uncleanness on him, that soul shall be cut off from before me. I am Yahuwah. Whoever of the offspring of Aaron is a leper or has an issue, he shall not eat of the holy things until he is clean. Whoever touches anything that is unclean by the dead, or a man whose offspring goes from him, or whoever touches any creeping thing whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness, whatever uncleanness he has, and the person that touches any such shall be unclean until the evening, and shall not eat of the holy things unless he bathes his body in water. 6 and 7 is missing. Yep. Yep. So go to 7. And when the sun is down, he shall be clean, and shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his food. That which dies of itself and is torn by animals he shall not eat, defiling himself by it. I am Yahuwah. They shall therefore follow my commandment, lest they bear sin for it and die therein, if they profane it. I am Yahuwah who sanctifies them. So, what is sin? He told you one sin. That's Leviticus in the law. Go to 1 John 3:4. Whoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. Did the Messiah come to do away with the law? John 8:11. She said, No, man, Lord. And Yahushua said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. He wasn't Greek. So he was a Hebrew. From what I understand, his name's Yahusha. Go and sin no more. So we're not supposed to sin. Sin is transgression of the law. Another witness? Romans 7:7, what shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. This is what Paul said. I had not known sin but by the law, for I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not. Other manuscripts say lust. Thou shalt not lust. He didn't know lust, except the law said, thou shalt not lust. He knew sin by the law. Romans 8, he tells you again, verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be. So them that are in the flesh cannot please God. What's that mean? If you're not keeping his law, you're not pleasing him. But you are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if you be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. He's our sin sacrifice. Hebrews 10:26, for if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, what's the truth? There remaineth no more sacrifices for sins. Sins, transgression of the law, right? Knowledge of the truth. What's the knowledge of the truth? Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. What did Peter say? We're a royal priesthood. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. His knowledge, his law. Also, 1 Corinthians 15:34, awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame. He's shaming you, and most don't even realize it. And he said the law is truth, right? Or he said the truth earlier. All right, so knowledge of the truth. What's the truth? What does the Bible say the truth is? Not what the pastor said, not what everybody else said. What's the Bible say? Psalms 119:142, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. His righteousness. Psalm 119:151, thou art near, O Yahuwah, and all thy commandments are truth. Your Old Testament is your dictionary, and it tells you what they're talking about. If people don't use the Old Testament, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't give heed to the commandments of men that turn from the truth, his law, his Sabbath, his commandments. Christmas is not a commandment. Jeremiah 10, it says don't do it. So, let's see. I am Yahuwah who sanctifies them. No stranger shall eat of the holy thing. A foreigner living with the priest or hired servant shall not eat of the holy thing. But if a priest buys a slave purchased by his money, he shall eat of it. And such as are born in his house, they shall eat of his bread. If a priest's daughter is married to an outsider, she shall not eat of the heave offering of the holy things. But if a priest's daughter is a widow or divorced and has no child and has returned to her father's house as in her youth, she may eat of her father's bread, but no stranger shall eat any of it. If a man eats something holy unwittingly, then he shall add the fifth part of its value to it, and shall give the holy thing to the priest. The priest shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer to Yahuwah, and so cause them to bear the iniquity that brings guilt when they eat their holy things, for I am Yahuwah who sanctifies them. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, Whoever is of the house of Israel, or of the foreigner sojourning in Israel, so Gentiles grafted in, who offers his offering, whether it is any of their vows or any of their freewill offerings, which they offer to Yahuwah for a burnt offering, that you may be accepted, you shall offer a male without defect of the bulls and of the sheep or of the goats. But whatever has a defect, that you shall not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you. Whoever offers a sacrifice of peace offerings to Yahuwah to accomplish a vow, or for a freewill offering or of the herd or of the flock, it shall be perfect to be accepted. It shall have no defect. Blind, injured, maimed, having a wart, festering, or having a running sore, or having crushed testicles, you shall not offer these to Yahuwah, nor make an offering by fire of them on the altar to Yahuwah. Either a bull or a lamb that has any deformity or lacking in any of his parts, that you may offer for a freewill offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. You must not offer to Yahuwah that which has its testicles bruised, crushed, broken, or cut. You must not do this in your land. You must not offer the bread of your Elohim from the hand of a foreigner as any of these, because their corruption is in them. There is a defect in them, they shall not be accepted for you. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, When a bull or a sheep or a goat is born, then it shall remain 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day and from henceforth it shall be accepted for the offering of an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. Whether it is a cow or a ewe, you shall not kill it and its young both in 1 day. 29. Yep, missing 29. So, let's see here, 29. And when you will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto Yahuwah, offer it at your own will. It shall be eaten on the same day. You shall leave none of it until the morning. I am Yahuwah. Therefore you shall keep my commandments and do them. You shall not profane my holy name, but I will be made holy among the children of Israel. I am Yahuwah who makes you holy, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. His name's pretty important. He keeps repeating it, right? "32." Yep. That's that Jewish doctrine where they can't say the name. They say Hashem because the name's too holy to be spoken. But the Levites in the Dead Sea Scrolls were speaking it. Abraham was speaking it. His people speak his name. 23. Verse 4. Okay, 1. Leviticus 23 from scroll 4Q24. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and tell them the set feast of Yahuwah, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my set feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day is a Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no kind of work. It is a Sabbath to Yahuwah in all your dwellings. In all your dwellings. These are the set feasts of Yahuwah, even holy convocations, which you shall proclaim in their appointed season. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month in the evening, is Yahuwah's Passover. On the 15th day of the same month, on the 14th day of the month in the evening. So day begins in the morning, feast in the evening. On the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread. The next day to Yahuwah, 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. 7's missing. So this is scroll 1Q3, Paleo Leviticus numbers. In the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no regular work, but you shall offer an offering made by fire to Yahuwah 7 days, and the seventh day is a holy convocation. You shall do no regular work. So 9. See, and Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them, when you have come into the land which I give to you, and shall reap its harvest, then you shall bring the sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest, and he shall wave the sheaf before Yahuwah to be accepted for you. On the next day after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. On the day when you wave the sheaf, you shall offer a male lamb without defect, a year old, for a burnt offering to Yahuwah. The meal offering with it shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire to Yahuwah for a pleasant aroma, and the drink offering with it shall be of wine, the fourth part of a hin. You must not eat bread, roasted grain, or fresh grain until the same day, until you have brought the offering of your Elohim. This is a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. You shall count from the next day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be completed. Even to the next day after the 7th Sabbath you shall count 50 days, and you shall offer a new meal offering to Yahuwah. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 loaves of bread for a wave offering made of 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour. They shall be baked with yeast for first fruits to Yahuwah. You shall present with the bread 7 lambs without defect, a year old, 1 young bull, and 2 rams. The Messiahs are lambs, so we don't have to do all that. They shall be a burnt offering to Yahuwah with their meal offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of a sweet aroma to Yahuwah. You shall offer 1 male goat for a sin offering, and 2 male lambs a year old for a sacrifice of peace offerings. The priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before Yahuwah with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy to Yahuwah for the priest. You shall make proclamation on the same day. There shall be a holy convocation to you. You shall do no regular work. This is a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. When you reap the harvest of your land, you must not wholly reap into the corners of your field, and you must not gather the gleanings of your harvest. You must leave them for the poor and for the foreigner. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. So 23. This is scroll 11Q1. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, shall be a solemn rest to you, a memorial of the blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no regular work, and you shall offer an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. 25. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, However, on the 10th day of the 7th month is the day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation to you, and you shall afflict yourselves. You shall offer an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. You shall do no kind of work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make atonement for you before Yahuwah your Elohim. For whosoever it is who shall not deny himself in that same day shall be cut off from his people. Yeah, 28. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, that soul will I destroy from among his people. You shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and you shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month at even, from even to even, shall you celebrate your Sabbath. If the Sabbath went from even to even, he wouldn't have to tell you from even to celebrate your Sabbath. He would just say, on this day of the month, celebrate. But he tells you specifically from even to even. That means the Sabbath does not start at even normally. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto Yahuwah. On the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. 36 to 40. And also, on the topic of when the day begins, if you just look here, it's very, very clear. Matthew 28, at the end of the Sabbath, Saturday, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, Sunday, at the end of the day, at dawn of the first day, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre, and the Messiah was already gone. He didn't rise on Sunday. He was already gone. He rose on the Sabbath, and the day starts at dawn. 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation unto you, and you shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah. It is a solemn assembly, and you shall do no servile work therein. These are the feasts of Yahuwah, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto Yahuwah, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and drink offerings, everything upon his day, beside the Sabbaths of Yahuwah, and beside all your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your freewill offerings, which you give unto Yahuwah. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep a feast unto Yahuwah 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. So 40. Oh yeah, and the 7th month, the actual year begins March, April, springtime. Not in the dead of winter in December 25th, where the sun god day was born. January, Janus, the double-headed god, all Roman pagan junk. So if the month starts in March, April, you got April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7th month will be October. The actual 7th month. You shall take on the first day the fruit of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before Yahuwah your Elohim 7 days. And you shall keep it a feast unto you 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. You shall celebrate it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of Yahuwah. And also, if you go to Jubilees, which was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, kept by the Levites and John the Baptist, or John the Baptizer, the Ethiopian church kept Jubilees the entire time. And you will see, where's it at? Here we go. And chapter 16. Kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Peter talking about there. And all right. Verse 20, he built there an altar to Yahuwah who had delivered him, this is Abraham, and who was making him rejoice in the land of his sojourning. And he celebrated a festival of joy in this month, 7 days, near the altar which he had built at the well of the oath. And he built booths for himself and for his servants on this festival. And he was the first to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles on the earth. So the law started with Israel? Nope. This is in the law. Abraham's already doing it. And during these 7 days he brought each day to the altar a burnt offering to Yahuwah, 2 oxen, 2 rams, 7 sheep, 1 he-goat for a sin offering, that he might atone thereby for himself and for his seed. And as a thank offering, 7 rams, 7 kids, 7 sheep, 7 he-goats, and their fruit offerings and their drink offerings, And he burnt all the fat thereof on the altar, a chosen offering unto Yahuwah for a sweet-smelling savor. And morning and evening he burnt fragrant substances, frankincense and galbanum, and stacked, and nard, and myrrh, and spice, and costum. All these 7 he offered crushed, mixed together in equal parts and pure. And he celebrated this feast during 7 days, rejoicing with all his heart and with all his soul, he and all those who were in his house, and there was no stranger with him, nor any that was uncircumcised. And he blessed his Creator, who had created him in his generation, for he had created him according to his good pleasure. For he knew and perceived that from him would arise the plant of righteousness for eternal generations. This is the prophecy of the Messiah. He came from Abraham, and from him a holy seed, so that it should become like him who made all things. Who made all things? The Messiah. And he blessed and rejoiced, and called the name of this festival the festival of Yahuwah, a joy acceptable to the Most High Elohim. And we blessed him forever, and all his seed after him throughout all the generations of the earth, because he celebrated this festival in its season, according to the testimony of the heavenly tables. For this reason it is ordained on the heavenly tables concerning Israel, that they shall celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days with joy in the 7th month, acceptable before Yahuwah, a statute forever throughout their generations every year. And to this there is no limit of days, for it is ordained forever regarding Israel that they should celebrate it and dwell in booths, and set wreaths upon their heads, and take leafy boughs and willows from the brook. And Abraham took branches of palm trees and the fruit of goodly trees, and every day going around the altar with the branches 7 times a day in the morning, he praised and gave thanks to his Elohim for all things in joy. Seed who should be like him who made all things. John. Let's see. Yep. In the beginning was the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. The same was in the beginning with Elohim. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Like him who made all things. So, we're on 24. And 2. Leviticus 24, and Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring to you pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause a lamp to burn continually. Outside of the veil of the testimony in the tent of meeting shall Aaron keep it in order from evening to morning before Yahuwah continually. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. He shall keep it in order, the lamps on the pure gold lampstand before Yahuwah continually. You shall take fine flour and bake 12 cakes of it. 2/10 of an ephah shall be in 1 cake. You shall set them in 2 rows, 6 on a row, on the pure gold table before Yahuwah. You shall put pure frankincense on each row, that it may be to the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire to Yahuwah. Every Sabbath day he shall set it in order before Yahuwah continually. It is an everlasting covenant on the behalf of the children of Israel. It shall be for Aaron and his sons, and they shall eat it in the holy place, for it is most holy to him of the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire by a perpetual statute. The son of an Israelite woman whose father was an Egyptian went out among the children of Israel, and the son of the Israelite woman and the man of Israel strove together in the camp. The son of the Israelite woman blasphemed the name and cursed, and they brought him to Moses. His mother's name was Shelomith, the daughter of Debri of the tribe of Dan. They put him in custody until Yahuwah's will should be declared to them. Yahuwah spoke to Moses, saying, Bring out of the camp him who is cursed, and let all who heard him lay their hands on his head, and let all the congregation stone him. So 14, 15. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Whosoever curses his Elohim shall bear his sin. He who blasphemes Yahuwah's name, he shall surely be put to death. All the congregation shall certainly stone him, the foreigner as well as the native born. When he blasphemes the name, shall be put to death. So that's pretty important. Don't blaspheme the name. He who strikes any man mortally shall surely be put to death. 18. He that killeth a beast shall make it good, beast for beast. If anyone injures his neighbor as he has done, so shall it be done to him, fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. As he has injured someone, so shall it be done to him. Now see, the Messiah came and taught different. He changed that. Where he made changes, he told everybody. When he didn't change it, he didn't have to tell you because he didn't change it. Matthew 5:38. You have heard that it hath been said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you that you resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on the right cheek, turn to him the other also. See, sacrificial law is done with. We don't take eye for eye and tooth for tooth. Turn the cheek. And if any man will sue thee at the law and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away. You have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. That's in the law. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh the sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if you salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. And see, did he say anywhere in there the law is done away with? Where's it at? I think it's also in Leviticus. Maybe not. Here's James 1:25. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. Matthew 5:17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. Think not. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. He didn't come to do away with it. G41:37. Plerou, the Greek word. To make full, to fill up, to fill to the full, to cause to abound, to furnish, supply liberally, to carry into effect, bring to realization, cause God's will has made known the law to be obeyed as it should be. God's promises given through the prophets to receive fulfillment. Sayings, promises, prophecies to bring to pass, ratify, accomplish. Matters of duty to perform, execute. Does that sound like the law is done away with? Nope. He who kills an animal shall make it good, and he who kills a man shall be put to death. 22. (11, 12). You shall have one manner of law as well for the stranger as for one of your own country, for I am Yahuwah your Elohim. One law for the Gentile and Israel. Moses spoke to the children of Israel, and they brought him who had cursed out of the camp and stoned him with stones. The children of Israel did as Yahuwah commanded Moses. Leviticus 25. Beginning portion's missing. Leviticus 25, Samaritan Pentateuch. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto Yahuwah. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for Yahuwah. Thou shalt neither sow thy field, nor prune thy vineyard, and that which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vineyard undressed. For it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall you make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. And you shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and you shall return every man unto his possession, and you shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. You shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed, for it is the jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. You shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this jubilee you shall return every man unto his possession, and if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, you shall not oppress one another. According to the number of the years after the jubilee thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of the years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doth he sell unto thee. You shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy Elohim, for I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Wherefore you shall do my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them, and you shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and you shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if you shall say, What shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And you shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, you shall eat of the old store. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for you are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession you shall grant a redemption for the land. And if our brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, so scroll 11Q1, Paleo Leviticus. But if he isn't able to get it back for himself, then what he has sold shall remain in the hand of him who has bought it unto the year of Jubilee, and in the Jubilee it shall be released, and he shall return to his property. If a man sells a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it has been sold. For a full year he shall have the right of redemption. If it isn't redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be made sure in perpetuity to him who bought it. Throughout his generations it shall not be released in the Jubilee. But the houses of the villages which have no wall around them shall be accounted for the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall be released in the Jubilee. Nevertheless, the cities of the Levites, the houses of the cities of their possession, the Levites may redeem at any time. The Levites may redeem the house that was sold and the city of his possession, and it shall be released in the Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the pasture lands of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. If your brother has become poor, and his hand can't support himself among you, then you shall uphold him. He shall live with you like an alien and a temporary resident. Take no interest from him or profit, but fear your Elohim, that your brother may live among you. This is alien or stranger. 35. 45, 46. So 35. Yep. So here in Samaritan Pentateuch says stranger or sojourner. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy Elohim, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am Yahuwah your Elohim, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your Elohim. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as a hired servant, and as a sojourner he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his father shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy Elohim. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of aliens who live among you, of them you may buy, and of their families who are with you, which they have conceived in your land, and they will be your property. You may make them an inheritance for your children after you to hold for possession. Of them may you take your slaves forever, but over your brothers, the children of Israel, you shall not rule one over another with harshness. If an alien or temporary resident with you becomes rich, and your brother beside him has grown poor, and sells himself to the stranger or foreigner living among you, or to a member of the stranger's family, after he is sold, he may be redeemed. One of his brothers may redeem him, or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any who is close relative to him of his family may redeem him, or if he has grown rich, he may redeem himself. 50. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be according to unto the number of years, according to the time of a hired servant shall it be with him. If there are yet many years, according to them he shall give back the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. If there remain but a few years to the year of Jubilee, then he shall reckon with him. According to his years of service he shall give back the price of his redemption. As a servant hired year by year shall he be with him. He shall not rule with harshness over him in your sight. If he isn't redeemed by these means, then he shall be released in the year of Jubilee, he and his children with him. So that's 54. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am Yahuwah your Elohim. .26. So we got a scroll here that is Greek, Septuagint Leviticus. So 4Q 119. Leviticus 26, you shall make no idols nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am Yahuwah your Elohim. You shall keep my Sabbaths and have reverence for my sanctuary. I am Yahuwah. And Paul says, the temple was destroyed, so we're the temple. First Corinthians 3:17, if any man defile the temple of Yah, him shall Yahuwah destroy, for the temple of Yahuwah is holy, which temple ye are. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments, then I will give you rains in your land in their season, and the land shall yield its increase, and the fruit trees of the field shall yield their fruit. Your threshing shall reach to the vintage, and the vintage shall reach to the sowing time. You shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give you peace in the land, and you shall lie down, and no one will make you afraid. I will remove evil animals out of your land, neither shall war go through your land. You shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall chase 10,000, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. I will have respect for you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and my covenant will be with you. You shall eat old store long kept, and you shall move out the old because of the new. I will set my tent among you, and I won't abhor you. I will be your Elohim, and you will be my people. I am Yahuwah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, that you should not be their slaves. I have broken the yoke of your bars, and made you go upright. But if you will not listen to me, and will not do all my commandments, and if you shall reject my statutes, and if your soul abhors my ordinances, so that you will not do all my commandments, but break my covenant, I also will do this to you. I will appoint terror over you, even consumption and fever, that shall consume the eyes and make the soul to pine away. You will sow your seed in vain, for your enemies will eat it. Leviticus scroll 11Q1, Paleo Leviticus. I will set my face against you, and you will be struck before your enemies. Those who hate you will rule over you, and you will flee when no one pursues you. If you, in spite of these things, will not listen to me, then I will chastise you 7 times more for your sins. 7 times punishment. I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your sky like iron, and your soul like bronze. Your strength will be spent in vain, for your land won't yield its increase, neither will the trees of the land yield their fruit. If you walk contrary to me and won't listen to me, then I will bring 7 times more plagues on you according to your sins. I will send the wild animals among you, which will rob you of your children, destroy your livestock, and make you few in number. Your roads will become desolate. If by these things you won't be reformed by me, but will walk contrary to me, then I will walk in wrath contrary to you, and I will strike you, even I, 7 times for your sins. I will bring a sword upon you that will execute the vengeance of the covenant. You will be gathered together within your cities, and I will send the pestilence among you. You will be delivered into the hand of the enemy. When I break your staff and bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver your bread again by weight. You shall eat and not be satisfied. And if you will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary to you in wrath. I will also chastise you 7 times for your sins. You will eat the flesh of your sons. You will eat the flesh of your daughters. I will destroy your high places and cut down your incense altars, and cast your dead bodies upon the bodies of your idols, and my soul will abhor you. I will lay your cities waste, and will bring your sanctuaries to desolation. I will not take delight in the sweet fragrance of your offerings. I will bring the land into desolation. Your enemies that dwell in it will be astonished at it. I will scatter you among the nations, and I will draw out the sword after you. Your land will be a desolation, and your cities shall be a waste. This happened. They were scattered among the nations. James tells you. James, a servant of Yahuwah and of Yahusha HaMashiach, Yahusha the Messiah, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. That came to pass. 7 times was their punishment. 33. Yeah. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbaths, as long as it lieth desolate. You shall be in your enemy's land. Even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbaths. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbaths when you dwelt upon it. And upon them that are left alive of you I will send a faintness into their hearts in the lands of their enemies. And the sound of a shaken leaf shall chase them, and they shall flee as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth. They shall fall one upon another, as if were before a sword, when none pursueth, and you shall have no power to stand before your enemies. And you shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up. And they that are left of you shall pine away in their iniquity in your enemies' lands, and also in the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they have trespassed against me, and that they also have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despised my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, to break my covenant with them, for I am Yahuwah their Elohim. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their Elohim. I am Yahuwah. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahuwah made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. And so he confessed their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers. It is Jubilees 23. Not sure if that's where it's at. Oh, here we go. And I guess Jubilee's 1 here. Says, and many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, my Sabbaths, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, the prophets, and will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the law, and they will abrogate and change everything, so as to work evil before my eyes. That's going to happen again. And I shall hide my face from them, and I shall deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity and for prey and for devouring, and I shall remove them from the midst of the land, and I shall scatter them amongst the Gentiles, and they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Sabbaths and festivals and jubilees and ordinances. And after this they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength, and I shall gather them from amongst the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. I shall disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I shall remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul, and they will be for a blessing and not for a curse. They will be for the head and not for the tail. I shall build my sanctuary in their midst, and I shall dwell with them. I shall be their Elohim, and they will be my people in truth and righteousness. And Yahuwah said unto Moses, I know their contrariness and their thoughts and their stiff-neckedness, and they will not be obedient till they confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. And after this they will turn to me in uprightness with all their heart and with all their soul, and I shall circumcise the foreskin of their heart, the foreskin of the heart of their seed, and I shall create in them a Holy Spirit, and shall cleanse them, so that they shall not turn away from me from that day unto eternity. See how that matches up? She confessed their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers. And also heart, soul, mind. Matthew 22:37, Messiah said, Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. They're going to do that. And where's it at? Jubilees 23. In those days the children will begin to study the laws and to seek the commandments and to return to the path of righteousness. End times prophecy. And I think I read that. 46. Yep. 27. There's 5. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and saying to them, when a man shall make a singular vow, the person shall be for Yahuwah by thy estimation, and thy estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old even to 60 years old. Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. If the person be, scroll 4Q23, if the person be from 5 years old to 20 years old, then your valuation shall be for a male 20 shekels and for a female 10 shekels. If the person is from a month old to 5 years old, then your valuation shall be for a male 5 shekels of silver, and for a female your valuation shall be 3 shekels of silver. If the person is from 60 years old and upward, if he is a male, then your valuation shall be 15 shekels, and for a female 10 shekels. But if he is poorer than your valuation, then he shall be set before the priest, and the priest shall assign a value to him. The priest shall assign a value according to his ability to pay. If it is an animal of which men offer an offering to Yahuwah, all that any man gives of such to Yahuwah becomes holy. He shall not alter it nor exchange it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. If he shall at all exchange animal for animal, then both it and that which it is exchanged shall be holy. If it is any unclean animal of which they do not offer as an offering to Yahuwah, then he shall set the animal before the priest, and the priest shall evaluate it whether it is good or bad. As the priest evaluates it, so shall it be. But if he will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of it to its valuation. When a man dedicates his house to be holy to Yahuwah, then the priest shall evaluate it whether it is good or bad. As the priest evaluates it, so shall it stand. If he who dedicates it will redeem his house, then he shall add the 5th part of it, of the money of your valuation to it, and it shall be his. If a man dedicates to Yahuwah part of the field of his possession, then your valuation shall be according to the seed for it. The sowing of a homer of barley shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. And if he dedicates his field from the year of Jubilee, according to your valuation it shall stand. But if he dedicates his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon to him the money according to the years that remain to the year of Jubilee, and an abatement shall be made from your valuation. If he who dedicated the field will redeem it, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of your valuation to it, and it shall remain his. If he will not redeem the field, or if he has sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more, but the field when it goes out in the Jubilee shall be holy to Yahuwah as a devoted field. It shall be owned by the priest if he dedicates a field to Yahuwah which he has bought, which is not of the field of his possession. 22, there's 30. 22. Yep. Then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth of thy estimation, even unto the year of the Jubilee, and he shall give thine estimation in that day as a holy thing unto Yahuwah. In the year of the Jubilee the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong. And all thy estimation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be that shekel. But all the firstlings of the beast, which should be Yahuwah's firstling, no man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep, it is Yahuwah's. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thine estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thy estimation, notwithstanding no devoted thing. That a man shall devote unto Yahuwah of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto Yahuwah. None devoted which shall be devoted of men shall be redeemed, but shall surely be put to death. And scroll 1Q3, Paleo Leviticus Numbers. All the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the trees, is Yahuwah's. It is holy to Yahuwah. If a man redeems anything of his tithe, he shall add a fifth part to it. And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto Yahuwah. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which Yahuwah commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. And that's the end of Numbers. Or not Numbers, Leviticus 27. So, yep, Leviticus 27, the last one. Good study. A lot in there. All right. Well, happy Sabbath again. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one.